The biggest response I get when I talk about meditation is people say, oh, my mind is too busy. Like I can't stop my thoughts. They just keep buzzing around my head. And so what I do is, and my mind's busy too, but I play this little trick and I go through the chakras. It's not really a trick, but it works for me. And that as I'm focused on my energy centers, by the time that's done, I'm in a place of allowing where I can be in communion with God, Spirit, Universe, to be in a place of receiving. Hello, everyone. This is Beth McGill, and welcome to Manifesting Your Heart's Desires. I'm so blessed, so happy to be here right now in this moment, being able to teach. Teaching is something that I definitely love to do. And my inspiration is to teach everything that I've learned on my spiritual journey so that you too can live a life that you absolutely love. So today I'm going to answer a couple of questions, and I'm also going to give you a gift. So I did present so much information in my book, Allow Life to Happen and Receive Everything You Desire. I wanted to put everything out there that I've learned. However, one thing that's missing is an experience. So what I would like to do today is provide you with a guided meditation and talk a little bit about meditation, because that is something that I do every day. And I believe it's something that is very important. So we're going to talk about meditation today and why that is so important. And then I'll take you through a guided meditation so that you can play at any time at your convenience, or you simply can take the information and tweak it so that it works for you. All right, let's get started. So oftentimes I get asked this question, Beth, how did you go from being an elementary school teacher to a financial advisor? And, I ask myself that question a lot because a lot of times people don't change professions. But for me, even as a teacher, I ask this question all the time. And this question was, how can I help more people? And as a teacher, I wanted to be able to help more students, more teachers. I started programs. So that was a question that was always floating around in my mind. How can I help more people? And when I had a chance to become a financial advisor, I wanted to help more people understand about money and investing because I wanted to understand more about financing and investing. So I became a financial advisor, and then I was able to go full-time as a financial advisor and even help more people than I was as a teacher. So that was awesome. Now, as a financial advisor, I was working from home. Everything's great. Like I'm manifesting like crazy. I have a successful business. But after a while, after about 2 years, I started wondering, like, I have everything going for me. I'm working from home. I have a successful business, but I felt like something was missing. And the word that I gave that something that was missing was joy. Like I was happy and I had everything, but I was missing this internal joy. And I didn't know what it was. But I had a seed planted by a dear friend, Jill. And I had been at a networking event and she had a health lounge and she was telling us about meditation. Now, I was there as a businesswoman for a networking event, but she planted a seed that day. And a few months later, as I'm going through this internal dialogue with myself, like, what's missing in your life? Like, what's going on? Where's this joy? I decided one day to sit down and take Jill's advice. I sat down with my timer for 5 minutes and I said, I'm not going to meditate because at the time I thought that was for weirdos And I didn't want to call it meditation, but I said, I'm going to do the opposite of what I'm doing, because as a businesswoman, I was being very busy and I was keeping myself busy because I thought that's what I should be doing, even though I wasn't necessarily being busy and productive. And so I sat down one day and I said, I'm going to sit here and I'm going to practice being quiet. I didn't even know what that meant, but I thought, you know what? At this point, what have I got to lose? So I set my timer for 5 minutes. I sat there for just being quiet. But now I was asking a different question. Before, I'd always been asking, how can I help more people? And at the time, I was helping a lot of people. I had hundreds of clients. But this time I asked another question. And the reason why I'm sharing this with you is I want you to reflect and see if there's a question that you feel, because it's probably your intuition. Is there a question that you feel is guiding your life? And maybe something that you've known about, but you haven't addressed yet. So I'm here to encourage you to address that question. Listen to your intuition, because that's what I did that day when I sat down for 5 minutes. And I asked this question, God, who am I? Because I knew I was a parent, I was a mom, I was a wife, I was a teacher, I was a financial advisor. But I realized at that time that those were simply labels. And I wanted to be more than a label. I wanted to find out who I was from God's perspective. And I started that very first day, a word slipped into my head. I was asking, who am I? You are a gift. You on every day. And I thought, well, that's really fun. I heard a word. I didn't know at the time that that was called being clairaudient. But I did it again the next day and the next day for about 90 days. And every day I heard a word. And I started really playing with it and having fun and started journaling. And that was back in 2018. And by the end of 2018, I had a daily meditation practice, because that 5 minutes became 10, the 10 became 15 within about 6 months. But I also was journaling because I thought, this is so much fun. I'm learning about myself, and I wanted to journal after I meditated. So after 2018, meditating and journaling became my go-to. And you know what? It still is today. Like journaling, meditating, reciting my vision. Those are 3 things that are on my must list. They are my non-negotiables. I must do those every day for myself. And I love them. Now, I talk a little bit about meditation in my book, and I've talked about it here before in my Facebook group and different places, but there are so many different kinds of meditation. So when people are starting out, like, you can look into different types, but really keep it simple. Take it easy. Like, it doesn't have to look a particular way. When it comes to meditating, there's absolutely no right and no wrong. That's what I found out, because I wanted to find out about all the different kinds of meditation, and I wanted to learn about them. And really, for me, I had 2 main mentors. One was Wayne Dyer, and he has many different types of meditations out in his books. Manifesting Your Destiny has a whole chapter on meditating. And I learned a lot from that book and from Wayne Dyer. So if you want a more spiritual approach to meditating, I say look into Wayne Dyer's books, especially Manifesting Your Destiny, and see if those resonate with you. And then Dr. Joe Dispenza is another one that I learned a lot about meditating. And he has guided meditations out. And you can find guided meditations out everywhere. But Joe Dispenza takes a scientific approach. So if you feel like you would take more of a scientific approach to meditating, then Dr. Joe Dispenza is your guy. So those are a couple of mentors that I've had in the past, one more spiritual, one more scientific in his approach. What I do is a combination. And for me, what I've settled in on is something where I'm I'm honoring my body. I know as an energy healer, I know that we humans can heal our bodies every day. Our bodies are amazing machines. Our cells have wisdom and infinite intelligence in them. Our body can manufacture anything that it needs. So I believe that getting in touch and in tune with your body is very impactful and healing. And so for me, what I do, and I only meditate for about 15 to 20 minutes every day. And what I do is I go through and I honor, I reflect, I look at my energy centers. And, so Dr. Joe Dispenza calls them energy centers. Other people call them chakras. For me, it doesn't matter what I call something, but I'm aware of it being there. And so I go through the 7 main chakras and I visit them. I make sure they're cleared and they're flowing and I'm paying attention to them. And then I ask another question. I say, please let me know whatever there is for me to know, like guide me. I'm asking for guidance from God's spirit universe. And by the time I've gone through the chakras, my mind is quiet. So even though my mind might only be quiet for 5 minutes or so, that's powerful. Because honestly, the biggest response I get when I talk about meditation is people say, oh, my mind is too busy. Like I can't stop my thoughts. They just keep buzzing around my head. And so what I do is, and my mind's busy too, but I play this little trick and I go through the chakras. It's not really a trick, but it works for me. And that as I'm focused on my energy centers, by the time that's done, I'm in a place of allowing where I can be in communion with God's spirit universe, to be in a place of receiving. Because for me, that's what meditation is. I want to strengthen that connection to God's spirit universe. So I'm more in touch with my intuition, so that I'm listening better to those nudges and I'm inspired to take action as I'm being led. So for me, that's what meditation is all about, is getting that connection clear and to open me up to receiving. So if that sounds good for you, I want to take you through what that looks like and have you experience it for yourself. So for me, energy centers or chakras, what I do is I'm going to, in this guided meditation, simply mention the location, the name of the chakra or the energy center, where it's located and what it's for, and the color. Now, you can, whatever you visualize is good for you. Sometimes I see a color, sometimes I don't. What I'm focused on is sometimes I feel the energy, sometimes I don't. In my lower chakras, I usually don't feel it, but I usually can see it with eyes closed. I can see like this disc of energy floating around, and I can see when it's cleared enough so that it's moving and swirling. Again, like a frisbee, it's a disc and it's moving energetically. And then I go on to the next chakra or energy center. So that's what I'm going to take you through. So you don't have to see a color. You don't have to feel it. Just play with it and see what you see, feel what you feel. And whatever you do is perfect for you. Now, my upper chakras, I do tend to feel those more than I tend to see them. So, there is no right or wrong. It's whatever shows up for you is perfect. So again, the reason I do this is to open up myself to be able to have that stronger connection to God's spirit universe, to open up and be more sensitive to my intuition so that I can be guided and take inspired action so I can manifest my heart's desires. Does that make sense? I hope so. So it's all connected to manifesting, but you've got to do some stuff, right? You just can't go through life and not really put some time and effort into thinking about who you are. And I believe that we're a spiritual being having a physical experience. So we need to commune and connect to that spiritual side of us, our soul, if you will. So that's all it is. And now for me, I also listen to Tibetan bowls. That music that I find on YouTube resonates with me and gets me into a closer connection faster. And it allows me to soften my thoughts. So again, for you, it might be flute music. For me, it's not flutes, it's Tibetan bowls. For some people, it might be guitar. It might be for you nature sounds. I don't know, but play around with it. That's what's fun. Play, have fun doing this practice. Okay. So I'm going to have you just go ahead and close your eyes. I'm going to take you through the energy centers. And I do this first thing in the morning. I have the music going. I have my candle burning. I've been guided to a crystal to hold. And then I do this meditation. So the first chakra or energy center that you want to focus on is your root chakra. And it is the color red. And it's located at the base of your spine or your tailbone. So simply focus on that area and see what you see or feel what you feel. Knowing that there is this energy center there. And when it is healthy, it is spinning in a nice flow. So just see if you can feel that, or if you can sense it, or if you can even see the color red. And just breathe into it. The next chakra is called your sacral, and it's located about 2 inches below your belly button. It's associated with the color orange, and this energy center is the focus of your emotions, your creativity, and your sexuality and your self-expression. So focus on that area, see what you see, or feel what you feel. Having a sense of that energy spinning, being there to serve you. And breathe into it. The next energy center chakra is your solar plexus. And I usually take a nice deep breath into this one, going from 2 inches below my belly button up to 2 inches above my belly button. Breathing into it even deeper. Your solar plexus is associated with the color yellow, and this is associated with confidence and your personal power. So focus on seeing either the color or that yellow or white light and the flow. And breathe into it. The next chakra or energy center is your heart chakra. And this is the center of your chest. The color that's associated with it is green. You may feel this one even stronger. This is associated with love and relationships. See what you see. Feel what you feel and sense that energy flowing in your heart center. The next chakra or energy center is your throat chakra. This is right around the center of your throat. Associated with it is the color aquamarine. And this, of course, being your throat, is your communication center and also being able to state your personal truth. And just sensing that energy. And I usually feel this one going around my throat, as opposed to me being able to see it with my eyes closed. And again, whatever you're feeling or seeing is great for you. And breathe. The next chakra or energy center is known as your third eye. It's located between your eyebrows. Associated with it is the color purple. And this is your intuition, your psychic abilities. Really focusing on that sense of intuition and tapping into that, strengthening that. And sometimes I'll feel that one flowing horizontally this way. And we're all different. There's no right or wrong. And then you have your crown chakra, which is about 2 inches above your head. And associated with this is a bright white light. And this is your connection to God, spirit, universe. So remember, it's right above. Seeing that bright white light, maybe the light even going up further above your head. Seeing what you see, sensing what you're able to sense. And then see if there's a question that comes up for you. For me, it's something like, I desire to know so that I might be of service. So see if there's a question that comes up for you that you could meditate on, that you could focus on for the rest of your quiet time. And that's what I do. And usually when the timer goes off after 15 minutes, sometimes I'll sit there with a quiet mind. And when my mind starts to go again, I know it's time to get up and journal. And that's what I do. And I journal about what I expect the day to bring me, all of the wonderful opportunities. So I hope that you understand that this time of meditation is very important to strengthen that relationship to God's spirit universe and to connect to your soul so that you can be led. You can follow your intuition that will lead you to take inspired action so that you can manifest your heart's desires. And I love teaching. Thank you for being here and listening. Now my question that I've gone from, at first it was, how can I help more people? And then it was, God, spirit, universe, who am I? And now my question that I ask every day is, how can I inspire more people? How can I inspire more people to be in love with life, to live a life they love? How can I inspire more people to be healed? So that's the question that I ask now. So again, reflect and see if there's a question that's been floating around in your mind, and maybe you didn't even know why, and maybe now you're going, oh, I get it. This question or this mantra or this affirmation, I get it now. This is something that I should pay attention to. Perhaps it's guiding me somewhere else. All right. Take care. Again, thank you so much for listening. And I can't wait to talk to you next week and talk to you more about manifesting and taking inspired action. So first of all, get inspired, tuned in to who you really are, really focus in this week on tapping into your soul and building that communication, because meditation really is when we're listening to God as opposed to prayer when we're talking to God. So I do both every day very intentionally, but I love, love, love this time of listening. All right, take care. Have a beautiful day. Join us on a journey of manifesting your heart's desire. Subscribe to our channel for weekly videos.